When you're a young man and you're growing up, you generally learn a lesson by being around other boys, other young men. We get involved in some horseplay, we mess around with each other, sometimes we get in fights. In doing that, you wind up learning boundaries and barriers, right? I learned when I was growing up that I really had to be careful what I said to another person, especially if it was a boy, because odds are if you offended somebody, they would throw hands. This taught me that if I wasn't willing to throw hands with another person, or I thought that I couldn't win a fight, that I was supposed to keep my mouth shut about certain things, or that I would try to talk in a respectable way so that I could try to get my point across without offending the other person, because if I did offend them, then, odds are I'd get my ass kicked. That being said, when I was a little boy, I learned this boundary and barrier, and then I got to a point to where I didn't have fights unless I could win them, right? And I would usually pick my battles in a way that made it so that I knew that if I was going to pick this battle, it was because either I really wanted to kick this person's ass anyways, or I felt like it was worth teaching them a lesson. My point is, I don't think ladies really understand this lesson. They didn't have the same ability to learn what is appropriate to say or where that boundary or barrier is, because the majority of ladies, when they were younger, they had somebody else to protect them, like my sisters, right? If I got into the horseplay with my sisters, my dad would come and beat my ass. This makes it so that later on, when they get involved with a man, they really don't know what not to say or how not to be disrespectful, because they have never been in a situation where somebody has basically thrown hands at them who was a man. And I think this is why you have a lot of these videos where women are being so disrespectful and they're throwing hands at a man. Now, when I was a little boy, my mom taught me that if you hit a woman, you're a piece of shit man. So what I'm trying to get to is, for all these ladies who are throwing hands at a man, you're a piece of shit woman. And I can say that because if you're throwing hands at that man and he don't throw hands at you, you're taking advantage of your position. I'm not trying to be a horrible person. I'm not really trying to put people down, but I am trying to make you think about what you do, because there's a lot of men out there who are good men, and just because you don't agree with them or you don't like what they're saying does not mean that you have a right to throw hands at that man. Don't lay a finger on him if he hasn't laid a finger on you. That being said, I've only ever put hands on one woman, and it was my sister, and that's because she attacked me, and I only pushed her.